Imagine this. You're in a long-distance relationship, texting goodnight every day, counting down the days until you reunite. But beneath the surface, something feels off. Your partner seems distant yet possessive. They make you doubt yourself, question your worth, and even isolate you from friends, all while claiming it's because they love you. Welcome to the dark side of long-distance love, where psychological manipulation thrives in the shadows of physical separation. Today, we're uncovering 20 dark psychology tactics used in long-distance relationships. Some are subtle, others outright sinister. By the end, you'll know how to spot them and protect yourself. 1. You're just paranoid. Sarah noticed her boyfriend Mark would disappear for days, then claim she was overreacting when she asked where he'd been. He'd say, "You're imagining things. I told you I was busy. You just forgot." Over time, Sarah started questioning her own memory. Gaslighting makes victims doubt their reality. In long-distance relationships, it's easier to manipulate because you can't physically verify facts. The most dangerous liars are those who make you doubt your own sanity. Said by George Orwell, real-life application. If your partner constantly denies things they've said or makes you feel crazy for asking questions, it's a red flag. 2. Sudden withdrawal. Jake flooded Emily with texts, calls, and gifts in the first month, then silence. When she asked why, he said, "I just needed space. If you really loved me, you'd understand." The cycle repeated, leaving Emily desperate for his affection. Love bombing creates dependency. Withdrawal makes you chase validation. The hottest love has the coldest end, said by Socrates. Real-life application. If affection feels like a roller coaster, extreme highs and lows, it's manipulation. 3. The Phantom Ex triangulation. Alex would casually mention his amazing ex, saying things like, "She never complained when I was busy." This made his current partner, Mia, feel insecure and try harder to win his love. Triangulation uses a third person, real or imaginary, to create jealousy and control. Comparison is the thief of joy, said by Theodore Roosevelt. Real-life application. If your partner constantly brings up others to make you feel inferior, they're playing mind games. 4. Future faking, false promises. David talked endlessly about moving in together, marriage, even kids, but whenever Lisa brought up concrete plans, he'd say, "Soon, just be patient." Years passed. Nothing changed. Future faking keeps you hooked on empty dreams. Promises are the lies of the hopeful, said by Charles Bukowski. Real-life application. If plans never materialize despite constant talk, they're stringing you along. 5. Digital surveillance and control. Ryan demanded Kate share her location 24/7. If she didn't reply within minutes, he'd accuse her of cheating. He'd say, "If you have nothing to hide, why not?" Isolation and surveillance under the guise of care are control tactics. Possession is not love, it's fear in disguise, said by Bell Hooks. Real-life application. Healthy relationships don't require constant monitoring. 6. Breadcrumbing, minimal effort, maximum hold. Every few weeks, Chris would send a vague "miss you" text, just enough to keep Leah hoping, but never enough to commit. Breadcrumbing keeps you emotionally invested while they remain detached. Don't confuse attention with affection, said by Esther Perel. Real-life application. If effort is inconsistent, they're keeping you as an option. 7. The guilt trap. When Nina wanted to visit friends, her boyfriend said, "I guess I'm not important enough for you." She cancelled plans feeling guilty. Emotional blackmail forces compliance through guilt. Manipulators' tears are made of glass. Arabian proverb. Real-life application. If saying no leads to emotional punishment, it's manipulation. 8. The silent treatment, emotional withholding. After a small argument, Liam ignored Zoe for days until she apologized, even when she wasn't wrong. Silence is used to condition obedience. The cruelest prison is the one inside your mind when someone controls your emotion, said by Carl Jung. Real-life application. Healthy partners communicate, they don't weaponize silence. 9. Playing the victim, reverse accountability. When confronted about flirting, Jake cried, "You're always attacking me, I can't do anything right." Shifting blame onto his partner. Victim playing avoids responsibility and manipulates sympathy. Beware of those who cry persecution, they are often the persecutors, said by Seneca. Real-life application. If they never take accountability, they're manipulating you. 10. The slow fade, ghosting in stages. Mia noticed texts became rarer, calls shorter. When she asked, "Are we okay?" he said, "You're overthinking." Then he vanished. The slow fade avoids confrontation while keeping you in limbo. The opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. Said by Ely Weasel. Real-life application. If effort fades without explanation, they're detaching without the decency of a breakup. 11. The illusion of exclusivity, false monogamy. Daniel told Jessica they were exclusive, yet he'd flirt with others online. When she found out, he said, "It's just harmless fun, you're the only one I really love." Keeping someone emotionally tied while secretly exploring options. Loyalty is a test you never know you're taking until you fail, said by Jordan Peterson. Real-life application. If they insist on commitment but act single, they're manipulating your trust. 12. The test trap, manufactured jealousy. Ethan would casually mention how his co-worker flirted with him, then watch Rachel's reaction. If she got upset, he'd say, "I was just testing if you care," creating artificial jealousy to gauge control over your emotions. Games test skill, manipulation tests weakness, said by Sun Tzu. Real-life application. Healthy partners don't test loyalty, they build it. 13. The blame shift. Your fault they cheat. After being caught texting an ex, Liam told his girlfriend, "If you were here more, I wouldn't need someone else to talk to," making you responsible for their bad behavior. A guilty person projects their shame onto the innocent. Said by Robert Greene. Real-life application. If they justify betrayal by blaming you, run. 14. The fake crisis, emotional hostage-taking. Whenever Sophia tried to address issues, Mark would suddenly have a breakdown, saying, "I can't handle this right now, you're stressing me out," using manufactured emergencies to avoid accountability. Chaos is a manipulator's favorite disguise, said by Robert Greene. Real-life application. If every serious talk becomes their crisis, they're dodging responsibility. 15. The I'll change Mirage, false reform. Every time Nina threatened to leave, Jake would cry, promise therapy and act perfect for a week, then revert. Performance-based change to reset the cycle of abuse. A tiger never changes its stripes, it just learns to hide them better. The Chinese proverb. Real-life application. Real change is consistent, not just when they're about to lose you. 16. The conveniently busy manipulation, selective availability. Whenever Maya wanted to talk about their future, Raj would suddenly have urgent work deadlines or family emergencies, but he always had time for fun calls and flirty texts when he wanted attention, training you to accept crumbs of attention by making their time seem scarce and valuable. When someone's only available on their terms, you're not a priority, you're an option. Said by Brené Brown. Real-life application. If they're never too busy for what they want, but always are for what you need, it's calculated neglect. To 17, the "you're lucky to have me" mind game. Despite living continents apart, Diego would remind Carla, "No one else would wait years for you like I do." Over time, she stopped asking for more effort, fearing she'd lose her only chance at love. Inflating their perceived value while diminishing yours to create dependency. The devil doesn't come dressed in a cape and horns. He comes as everything you've ever wished for. Said by Oscar Wilde. Real-life application. True partners build you up. They don't make you grateful for bare minimum effort. 18. The bait and switch. Romance scamming. After months of virtual romance, James started asking Emily for money to visit her, claiming bank issues. When she refused, he vanished, only for her to later discover his profile used stolen photos. Catfishing plus emotional manipulation equal financial exploitation. The cruelest lies are often told in silence. Said by Robert Louis Stevenson. Real-life application. Never send money to someone you haven't met. Reverse image search their photos. 19. The shared fantasy illusion, parasocial bonding. Lena and Tom spent years planning their dream life, down to house blueprints and baby names, though they'd never met. When she finally saved for a visa, he ghosted, using elaborate future fantasies to replace real investment in the present. Some people don't want love. They want an audience for their performance of love. Said by Marshall B. Rosenberg. Real-life application. If plans stay in someday mode indefinitely, you're being emotionally catfished. 20. The mutual misery trap. trauma bonding. Every time Alex tried to break up, Noah would threaten self-harm, saying, "You're the only thing keeping me alive." Guilt kept Alex trapped for 3 more years, exploiting empathy to turn love into a hostage situation. The chains of trauma bonding aren't held by the hands, they're welded by guilt, said by Pete Walker. Real-life application: threats of self-harm or abuse. Call emergency services for them. Never stay out of obligation. Stay aware, stay strong. So is your long-distance relationship built on love or manipulation? Some people use distance as a weapon, exploiting trust and emotional vulnerability. If any of these tactics sound familiar, it's time to ask yourself, is this love or is this control? Long-distance relationships are hard enough without psychological warfare. If you recognized any of these 15 dark tactics, ask yourself, is this love or is this a power play? Let me know in the comments, have you experienced any of these? And if you found this eye-opening, don't forget to like and subscribe. Next week, we're diving into 15 psychological signs you're being used and how to stop it. Stay aware, stay strong, and never let someone play games with your heart. Until next time, stay sharp.